Hey guys, so I'm back. Had me a busy summer, and been away, but I finally got back into battling, and this is a pretty sweet battle against a guy called Lewis, as far as I know. So yeah, let's check it out. So I start off the battle with my typical Gallade lead. He brings out an Uxie, which is one of my worst. Oh, I hate that guy. So he rocks, and I tried to taunt, but he was obviously too fast. And so I just tried to sneak him to get off some damage before he U-turned out. And I got in a minor chunk of damage. I didn't expect it to do much, but now my sash is broken, so I had a problem. And he brings out his own Gallade, so I figure I can sneak it just to see how much it does. And it does a nice half, so I think, oh, okay, I'll get in one more. But he X-scissors and knocks me out, which was good for him. I did not anticipate X-scissor, actually. It's my own fault. So I bring in my Blaziken just to try and outspeed it and take it down with the Thunder Punch, and that works very well on my part, so yay! Yes. And so he brings out his Lantern, and I was like, oh, I have a Lantern too, so I'm going to bring him out. And I get Rocks damage, and he goes for the Surf, and doesn't do much. And I'm going to take this opportunity to let you all know that there are two, stall battles to the max here. Lots of stallage. So he brings out his shiny Miltank, and I go for the Surf, and I do a decent chunk of damage, not a lot, but enough to make some stuff happen. And so I don't know what it knows, so it ends up EQing me, and I was like, whoa! Earthquaking Miltank! And I kind of want one now, plus that it's shiny. But since it's a Miltank, it's not strong enough to actually knock me out, so I get in my Paralysis. And I don't really know what this Miltank can do. I know it'll know Milk Drink and Heal Bell. So I switch out and I bring in my Honchkrow, anticipating another Earthquake, and I was right. And so he had figured out that I was going to Superpower, so instead I went for the Nasty Plot just to see what it would do. And it ended up using Heal Bell, so there went the Paralysis for it. So good for him. And then I just Superpowered him and I was like, oh, KO! But no, this Miltank lived with barely any health, and I was like, no! And I figured the Body Slam would knock me out, so that sucks. But wait, what? No, I'm alive! But of course, I get freaking hacks! Paralysis hacks! So much hacks against me this round. So he goes for the Milk Drink, and I just figure, I'll Dark Pulse. What's the worst that can happen? And then I saw the health meter going down, and I was like, uh-oh. Oh, yes! But it lived with 5 health. This guy was very lucky this round, or I was just unlucky. So he Body Slams, knocks out my Honchkrow. Boo-hoo. Yeah, I saw that coming. But so I bring out my Blaziken just to go for the Superpower, and he brings out Make Mortar. And so, oh, I went for the Thunder Punch because I wasn't going to waste my Superpower, sorry. And the Thunder Punch does a little chunk of damage, but I switch out to Rhyperior just to try and absorb whatever's coming, the Thunderbolt that was coming. And so obviously Thunderbolt doesn't work on me, and he Focus Blast, and this is the only time in this whole battle that I got lucky, and his Focus Blast missed, and so I EQ'd it, and it got knocked out. So that was sweet. That was pretty epic. So now he brings out a Licky Licky, which actually, Licky Licky's freaking awesome. But he Power Whips, and thankfully, because of Solid Rock, he won't do enough to actually kill me, so I just set up some rocks. I actually didn't know it was going to Power Whip that first time. And then it Ice Beams, and I was getting nervous here, because I was like, oh, I don't have special defense to survive, but because it's a Licky Licky, it doesn't really do anything. And I went for the Stone Edge, and he got lucky and I missed. And now he just tries to explode me to death, and I was like, oh, alright, well, Rhyperior's gone. But I end up living with barely any health, so I guess that was another little lucky thing for me. This was actually one of the best matches I've ever had in such a long time. And so he brings out Uxie, and I know he's going to U-turn me, so I stay in, figure, hey, what can I do? And I lived, and I went for the Stone Edge, because I knew that Uxie knew Earthquake, or it had Levitate, so Earthquake wouldn't hit. But the lucky bastard, my Stone Edge missed, so there was nothing I can do. I needed a free switch in, so I just let Rhyperior die, and I brought out my Lantern. And now I had Stealth Rocks up, he had Stealth Rocks up, and I surfed it, because I was just trying to see how much Surf did, and he Signal Beams, and I'm like, oh, Signal Beam, that's a pretty good move, I was going to teach my Lantern Signal Beam. And then I'm just trying to check out what the damage on Ice Beam is, see if it does more or less. It does less than Surf. And he Signal Beams, and so much hacks against me, I got confused. And I was like, oh, mother fudger. But luckily I got in my Surf this turn. The confusion didn't stop me. And so he knew rest, and he had Chesto Berry, I think it is, or the one that wakes you up. And so he woke up, and I was like, oh, you dirty something. But thankfully I snapped out of confusion, and now the epic stall battle shall ensue. So he signaled, and then again I got confused as soon as I got out of confusion. Frickin' pissed off. Anyway, so I hurt myself, and he signals again. I go for the surf. Get my lefty's recovery. Snapped out of confusion, surfed him. You know, and so this guy actually apparently has a YouTube channel, so once I find him, I'm gonna link him in this battle, and I'll let you all know what's going down on his channel. Check him out. You know, who knows? As soon as he contacts me. If not, I'll try and hunt him down. Might not happen. Anyway, so as you can see, this battle is getting quite close between our lanterns. So I surfed him, and he goes for the signal one more time. Or he surfs me, and now I'm finally not down for the count, because I had 5 health. And I was like, aw yeah. And then I surfed his lantern and knocked it out. So you can see this lantern is actually quite a beast. Love the lantern. Loving it. Loves it. So he brings out the milk tank now, and Rock's damage doesn't actually kill it. It was so close. And so he milk drinks, and thankfully he was. It's a good thing he was faster. I would have knocked him out. But I go for the surf, and it does a nice chunk of damage. It brings him back down almost to where he was before. So I figure, okay, you know what? He'll probably knock me out this turn. I may as well go for the surf. He does. He EQs. I'm gone. Bring out my Blaziken. And I bring out my Blaziken, and he got a useless crit there. So I bring out my Blaziken, and I'm like, okay, just gotta take this guy out. Go for the superpower. Superpowered him. Knocked the milk tank out, which was sweet for me. But now I face my worst threat ever, Uxie. It's frickin' Uxie. And so I figured, okay, I may as well bring out my last Pokemon, Tangrowth. So I switch, and it's a good thing I switched, because he went for the T-Wave, and that paralyzed my Tangrowth. Now, you're about to see the frickin' worst hacks in the world. I'm just so retardedly unlucky when it comes to battling. Ugh, Vegeta. Anyway, so here we go. He U-turns, and that's super effective. So, but thankfully Tangrowth is like a wall, so his U-turns don't really do a lot. And this whole time I'm trying to get the knockoff on, because I know it's got lefties, and I gotta take that lefties off. He sets up light screen, and I'm still paralyzed, again. Which was unbelievable. It took me like 5 turns to finally get this knockoff in. So he U-turns again, yada yada yada. Paralyzed. See, feel free to laugh at me, because I totally deserve it. This is unbelievable. Ugh. And so you can see this is the second epic stall battle. Finally get my knockoff in though. Knock his lefties off. And I was laughing here because I got a critical knockoff, which does like what, 20? Anyway, so I can't move, and now I'm just trying to set up Leech Seed because I know that since I'm paralyzed, it's gonna take me forever to get anything in. So I'm just trying to seed him because I know at least I'll be doing some damage every turn, even though I'm freaking paralyzed. And he's slowly chipping away at my health with his U-turns. And he's got me to yellow now, so he's doing something right. But I seed him. I finally got my seed in. And now there's only one thing left for me to do, and that is I need to sleep him. So I try and set up my sleep powder, and I luckily get one in right away. So sleep powder's in, and I know Tangrowth is too risky to keep in, so I've got to switch him out and bring in my Blaziken and hope that the Uxie doesn't wake up. So I switch him out, bring in my Blaziken. Thankfully, it stays asleep. I get in a little Leech Seedage, so now it doesn't really matter what I use. This guy's going down. Go for the Overheat, knock him out, and yay! So yeah, that was a frickin' epic battle. There's also another battle I had against Xmaster484. I'm gonna post a little link in the corner if you want to check that battle out. That was actually my first battle, but I didn't record it because I epically failed. But yeah, so rate, comment, sub, and thanks.